Welcome to the No Chill podcast, where facts get thrown out the door and no topic is too wild to get flamed.
I need you to chill.
Whether it's game-winning shots, blockbuster flops, or celebrity meltdowns,
oh, come on!
I'm calling it exactly how I see it. I've got no filter, no apologies, and definitely no chill. Let's get reckless. Welcome back, everybody. Hey, it's been one hell of a week. I don't have to tell you about mine because trust me, it's been a lot going on. But anyway, let's get to what's been going on throughout this week. So this past Monday was a huge night for the Detroit Lions as they put belt to ass to those Baltimore Ravens. But they weren't the only ones still in the spotlight for one Mr. Lamar Jackson, because after Detroit's defensive star Aiden Hutchinson ripped away a key fumble from Derrick Henry in the fourth quarter, our cameras cut to the family star who was sitting in the stands. And suddenly the real story wasn't just the Lions upsetting the Ravens, but Aiden's mom, Melissa Hutchinson, front and center on all of our TV screens. As one recap noted, cameras would pan to Hutchinson's mother, Melissa, after the forced fumble, and hey, she got the internet talking. In other words, the moment Aiden made the big play, Miss Melissa made all of our days. Melissa looked absolutely stunning, and fans immediately praised her looks as soon as the camera zoomed in. Social media exploded within seconds as fans were tweeting comments like "Hot Mom Alert," "Hotter than his sister," and "She's got those good genes." When ESPN's cameras flashed Melissa in the stands, even the play-by-play guys had to just pause a little bit. She's a red carpet celebrity and more than just a spectator, if you ask me. As former Miss Michigan Teen USA turned photographer showed off her effortless style while cheering on her son as well too. She looked so good that fans and even myself immediately started to question that if that was really Aiden's sister and not his mother. Now see, cameraman, this is someone we can get behind and we want to see more on TV than Taylor Swift. And in the end, it was all in good grace. The result, an instant legend was seen on camera. You know what, if this football thing ever doesn't work out, Detroit might draft her as the new Lions hype mom. Monday Night Football delivered a Lions victory and a front row look at the one seriously cool mom. Now, it's never funny when someone loses a job. However, it is funny when someone loses that job on the anniversary of one of your most iconic speeches in sports history, as Mike Gundy, the Oklahoma State coach, was released of his duties on the same day 18 years ago as his infamous "I'm a man, I'm 40" quote.
Come after me! I'm a man, I'm 40! I'm not a kid! Write something about me or our coaches. Don't write about a kid that does everything right, that's heart's broken, and then say that the coaches said he was scared. That ain't true! And then to say that we made that decision because Donovan Woods, because he threatened to transfer, that's not true! So get your facts straight.
Now, the timing of it is just poetic. As he said, write about me, write about the coaches, but don't write about the kids who's heartbroken. As now we really are writing about him and how bad the season has started for the Cowboys, leading to him getting fired. You know how when you're 40 and they say you hit your prime, you know when you are. You got respect. But apparently being 40 doesn't guarantee you job security, however. In fact, in Gundy's case, "I'm a man" ended up being replaced by "I'm a man now looking for work." 2 decades of building OSU football, viral moments, the mullet, personality, controversy, best moments list, all of it. Yet the finale comes after a handful of bad seasons and the irony of being cut loose just a day after one of the most famous verbal bombs ever. To be fair, you gotta give respect to where it's due. There is no roasting or cracking jokes without tipping the hat as well. Mike Gundy earned every bit of his attention. He defended his players, he gave fans moments that still quote about in memes to this day. He ran a program with consistency and he made people proud. And yes, sometimes yelling at the newspapers felt like performance art, but when you've done it long enough, people will remember. So if you're wondering what the takeaway is, "I'm a man, I'm 40" was powerful. But it turns out longevity in the job needs more than passion, fiery speeches, and a legendary mullet. It needs wins. All right, so following Mike Gundy, I know most of us have been let go from a job for some reason or other, but have you ever been fired while on vacation? And on a cruise at that. You're at sea and can't do anything about it, but continue to get drunk and, you know what, worry about it when you land somewhere. As a server was let go via text by her boss once her boat left the dock. You know, I guess it was perfect timing for the boss to strike. I don't know, maybe he was scared of her or something. I'm not too sure. But from the text, she was only working 1 day a week, but from the message that read, and I quote, "At this point, truthfully, we are going to go and just part ways. I appreciate the time you've given to us. We have a lot of servers currently available who are more closely fit with what we're looking for." So maybe she wasn't so friendly to be around with and her co-workers? Who knows? Or maybe there was something else going on at work that no one really wants to talk about. Okay, first off, instant humiliation. You're being served cocktails 1 second, enjoying life, and then boom, you're now Googling, can you really be fired via text? Which the answer actually might shock you. It's a yes. Also, what would happen if she didn't have service on her phone until she got back? Then what? Regardless, it's still kind of a dick move, no matter how you see it from leadership. You know, her next job interview when asked, "So why did you leave your last job?" "Well, they told me I was no longer needed while I was in the middle of the ocean." You know, on the bright side, you know, you are on a cruise still, so there's nothing you can really do about it at this time. You got extra free times on your hands. You don't have to worry about complaining customers. And, you know, after a while, you can look back and laugh at how great of a story this is when you tell your friends later on in life. All right, the mouse is hungry, and this time is for your pockets, as Disney Plus just announced another price hike to its monthly subscription, as their ad-supported Disney Plus is now climbing from $9.99 to $11.99 a month, and their ad-free premium tier is jumping from $15.99 to $18.99 per month. And also keep in mind, if you're bundling Hulu and ESPN, you are not spared from this either. This is Disney's 4th consecutive year of price hikes. Their 4th. This is truly starting to feel like a gym membership, if you ask me. I feel like Disney acts like we should be amazed by what they've given us so far. Like, yeah, Star Wars, every Marvel movie, the dozen sequels and spin-offs of Frozens that we've gotten, that your wallet is just, you know what, the normal sacrifice for viewing pleasure. And the timing couldn't be any worse, as they are coming off the drama of Jimmy Kimmel. What better way to take the focus off that than to make us all mad by this new price jump? Class act, Disney, just class act. Now, they insist that this price hike was already planned in advance and not a response to the backlash, but come on, man, we all know.
It fooled me, we can't get fooled again.
So here's my advice from one subscriber to another: start charging your friends for your popcorn at movie night over at your house, just to make up for this Disney tax. Or practice canceling your subscription and dust off those old DVDs, because soon you'll be paying Disney to remind yourself that once you actually used to own content. And what more can I say about Mr. Tom Brady? He's won several Super Bowls, thrown thousands of touchdown passes, and apparently owns a time machine, because God, this man does not age. Now, however, he is trying to navigate the difficulties of multitasking after his NFL career is over with, and being an owner and a broadcaster. Now, if you don't know, Tom is simultaneously calling games for Fox as a broadcaster, and he has bought stake in the Las Vegas Raiders. Because why not have it all, except for now you can actually complain to refs about bad calls. And that's kind of what's upsetting some people who don't think he should have all this access. Because at one point he's sitting in the coach's booth for the Raiders games with a headset on, and you don't know if he's broadcasting, coaching, or just trying to dodge responsibilities of suiting up when actually something goes wrong. And on the other hand, he's on Fox analyzing everyone else's offense, talking film and strategies, and seeing how other teams operate. So, is this truly fair? Now, there are some guardrails on Brady roaming around like he owns the place, so it doesn't look like he's just giving the Raiders everybody's playbook. But then again, if he did, I'm sure the Raiders didn't bother on reading it if you've seen their performance. Anyway, he can't visit the facilities, no attending practices. Some meetings are off limits to him, but is that enough? Well, if you ask him, critics are just paranoid and distrustful as he invokes his ethics and love of the game, calling it his moral duty. And yes, I know the same man who wants deflated footballs is talking about ethics. The audacity, am I right? But yet there are still a bunch of questions that you want to be answered by this man, like if Brady broadcasts a game where the Raiders are involved, is he calling what he sees or what he hopes to happen? And if he hears something in a Fox production meeting, does he have to mute himself whenever the Raiders strategy is brought up or being discussed? Look, no one's saying that Tom Brady can't do both things. He's earned some leeway. Maybe it can work. Maybe it is fine, because the NFL didn't invent rules to handle scenarios like this. So we'll just have to keep a close eye on your friendly neighbor. All right, that's going to do it for me for this week of No Chill. I'll be back next week, and I'll be keeping an eye on everything going on throughout the week to give you some more perspective on some things that I just find downright stupid and funny. But while I got your attention, check in on the Motor City Metrics podcast as well as the Tigers minor league report. My guy Rogelio and his crew are on everything you need to know for your Tigers and the MLB race that's going on right now. The Tigers are on their way back? Question mark? I don't know. You'll have to tap in with him to check out more. I'm sure he has a lowdown on everything and the scenarios, the if, ands, or when it comes to the Tigers and trying to make the playoffs and stay atop the AL Central. Also, if you want some more of myself and my guy Chase, go and check out our motorsports podcast, Fast and Loose. Comes out every single week for you right here on YouTube. I'll also put a link in the description for both the Motor City Metric podcast, Tigers minor league report, and Fast and Loose as well too, so you can check those out. Like I say every week, everyone, just look after each other.